Good evening, Yorktown, and welcome to the Town Board meeting for June 21st, 2022. If you could all please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilman, you want to lead us?
Absolutely.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if we could bow our heads in prayer and a moment of silence, and we ask for patience, and we ask for wisdom as we deliberate on this meeting. We keep in our thoughts and prayers all of our first responders, our police officers, our firefighters and EMTs. We keep in our thoughts and prayers all of our teachers and all of our students as they end another school year this year. And we keep in our thoughts and prayers all of our graduates of high school and college as they enter a new chapter in their lives. And of course, tonight we pray for those protecting our freedom, serving in the United States military overseas and here at home. Thank you.
Amen.
Well, again, good evening. We'll do introductions starting from my right.
Good evening, Diana Quast, Town Clerk.
Tom Diana, Deputy Supervisor, Councilman.
Matt Slater, Supervisor.
Luciana Howitt, Councilwoman.
Dave Paganelli, Highway Superintendent.
And we have joining us virtually, Councilman Sergio Esposito. Councilman, can you give us a wave? Thank you. Very good. I want to welcome all of our guests to tonight's meeting. We just have some business to attend to, and then we'll get on to our presentations. I want to thank all the departments who helped us refurbish and reopen the basketball court over at Railroad Park. A wonderful new addition, or really it's not even a new addition, but it's wonderful to see that the basketball court is being used once again as we had intended. This was a joint effort with our highway department, with our parks department, with our engineering department. I want to thank our Parks and Rec Commission. I want to thank John Campobasso, who was really one of the motivating factors behind this project. John is a commissioner of the Parks and Rec and grew up just up the street here, and talked about how he and his friends used to always spend their summer evenings playing basketball at Railroad Park. Well, congratulations, John. We did it. We got Railroad Park basketball court back up to a high standard, and I got to tell you, it's been great to see so many. It's
You're
okay.
done.
I'm done. My 3 minutes is up.
3 minutes is up. That's it.
My 3 minutes are up. Did you get that? But it was just, I've been driving by, and every day I get to see great kids playing basketball, enjoying a great game on this wonderful new facility. So thank you to all of our departments. I know that many people are going to talk about this, but I have to also talk about the opening of the Granite Knolls all-inclusive playground, a playground that was a true community effort, a true partnership. I want to thank our town clerk, Diana Quast, who was a driving force behind getting this done. She texted me last night that she was putting 70 bags of mulch donated by Home Depot out last night. So she's still hard at work with Anna Mandera, Jamie Collins, and a great team. And it really is, I think, a crowning moment for the Granite Knolls sports complex. You can hear when we were leaving on Saturday, you could hear just the pure joy and glee and laughter of kids that have all abilities, right? You had Christian in a wheelchair, you had Luke in a wheelchair, but they were enjoying a facility with kids who had different challenges and kids who had no challenges at all. And it's just so great that we finally have something that recognizes people of all abilities in this community, celebrates them, and I think it sends a strong message that we value people of all abilities in the town of Yorktown. So it was a wonderful Saturday morning. I did want to report that we did hear from the State Department of Transportation regarding Mr. Highway Superintendent.
Yes, sir.
Our corner.
Turning off my phone.
Oh, thank you for doing that. But the corner over at 100 and 129 where they...
The trees.
Yep.
Well, what's left of the trees.
What's left of the
Or
trees.
previously trees.
But we did hear from the State Department
Yep.
of Transportation, who reached out to you and I, that
Yes.
they will be finally getting the right equipment to process that material. That material accumulates over years because that's where they put the trees that come down during large storms, and they never had the correct equipment to process that. We've talked about that with them when we first went to DOT 2 years ago. But they have sent notice to us that they finally are going to be purchasing or renting the equipment they need in order to process it. So we're looking forward to seeing that eyesore finally go again, and I really hope that we can work with the state so that we don't keep having this reoccurring problem. And I think it's really important for us as town board officials to be advocating and communicating with the State Department of Transportation that they must maintain the equipment in order to process that
High
material.
visibility area.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know you hear a lot about it. I hear a lot about it, but I'm just happy to see that we're finally getting some progress done there. Speaking of progress, I got to visit Trader Joe's last week.
Saw that.
It's coming. It's opening. Get ready. We're excited. They are hiring. We're going to be sharing the website. If you're looking for a job here in Yorktown, they're going to be hiring roughly about 100, a little more than 100 employees. They've already started hiring, so we're very excited about that. But the real purpose of our visit there was to go over the traffic plan, and I just want to make sure that we're articulating this to the residents of Yorktown. We are trying, and I believe we're succeeding. We'll see for sure when it opens. But we want to be proactive when it comes to the traffic solutions, not reactive like what happened with Popeyes. And so we've already met with the developer. We've already met with store management. They've already revised their traffic plan. They brought their consultant, Phil Grilly, in. We've met with him. They're going to be putting out message boards leading up to the opening. They're going to be hiring off-duty Yorktown police officers to help with traffic. And they're going to be hiring their own security guards to help with traffic as well. They are making some improvements to the site itself. They are working on some overflow parking areas. They're working on cleaning up some of the current parking areas that are right now being used for storage. And so we're trying our best to be as proactive as we can because we're all very excited to finally see Trader Joe's open. And we want to make sure that those traveling to it or through it are going to be able to do so as safely as possible. So I just want to make sure that our residents understand that there's great effort and focus on this particular piece as they get closer to opening. The ARPA task force has had our first meeting. We reviewed all of the responses. I can share, and I believe the task force will be coming to a future town board meeting, but the number one issue was Mr. Paganelli's favorite issue.
Paving roads.
Roads.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the money can't be used for that.
Unfortunately, the money can't be used for paving, but road safety was by far the number one priority for those who participated in our community-wide survey. And again, we thank all those who sent in their ideas. So we're going to be meeting again. We're hoping to meet next week, but we're trying to put together a process and a process forward for detailing to the public how we're going about identifying projects and what those projects may be. Let's see. Our Climate Smart Communities Task Force submitted their certification application. We are waiting with bated breath. We should be hearing this week if our application was approved. This would be a statewide recognition for the great work being done by this town, by our community, by our partners in combating climate change. And so we're very excited to see that come to fruition. On the parks side, a couple of announcements from our Parks Department. We continued again our playground assessments. The next two that are, well, they were already assessed, but we're focused on are on Deer Street and the Blackberry Woods playground. And so our staff is in the process of assessing those and figuring out ways to enhance those areas, and we're thankful for that. Unfortunately, the nationwide supply chain issues are still hampering our Hanover East playground, which is going to be a brand new playground structure that we are anxiously awaiting. Unfortunately, it's been delayed again, and we believe it's going to be here, or hope it's going to be here some point next month. We've been saying this monthly at this point.
Yeah.
So we are hopeful for that. I do want to address the fact that we are aware that, once again, at the Veterans Field, there has been another spout of graffiti. I got to tell you, as a parent, someone who's there every week, twice a week, with my kids playing soccer, it's very disheartening. Very, very disheartening. This is a public place. It's a public park. I'm thankful that to the knowledge that we have, these are not hateful or racist or anti-Semitic tags. They're just generic graffiti. But again, to the parents of Yorktown, please, please, please reemphasize it's so important that our kids respect the facilities that we have, that we're so lucky to have them. But right now we are, again, dealing with another spout of graffiti. We are aware of it. We're working with the police department and the Parks and Rec department to rectify it. The pool registration is open still. Our Parks and Rec superintendent wanted to remind all of our residents that. You can still register right now even until 8 p.m. today, as well as Wednesday, as we welcome our police department in and members of our wonderful police department. We'll talk with them shortly. Also, if you're looking to register for the pool, you can do so this Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., and you can do that over at the Sparkle Lake Recreation Building. Just a couple of events that we have going on. It's always a busy weekend in Yorktown. This Friday, the John C. Hart Memorial Library here in Yorktown will be kicking off their summer reading program with a summer reading party from 2 to 4 p.m. Of course, tomorrow, and I double-checked this, triple-checked this, rain or shine, we have our Firemen's Parade right here in Yorktown, stepping off at 7 o'clock, and we're always excited for that. The Lions Concert will be kicking off their series this Sunday right over here at Veterans Field, and that's always a great time. July 1st, the Parks and Rec Department will be showing the movie Dog, which won a public poll, and that's going to be shown at Veterans Field at 8:30 p.m. And then, since it's officially summer now, we can talk about July 4th. Quick reminder that the My Brother Vinny 5K will be taking place in conjunction with the Taconic Roadrunners. And later in the morning, we'll be having a reenactment of the reading of the Declaration of Independence right here at Town Hall. And before I forget, the last note I knew was on the bottom. This Sunday, June 26th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., go check out Fable Farm as they host their Summer Farm Fest right off of Route 134 in Kitchewan, one of the historic farms in the town of Yorktown. I went to their spring Farm Fest, and they had just amazing product, all local, and it was a great day, a great time. So another busy weekend here in the town of Yorktown. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Councilman Tom Diana for his report.
Thank you, Supervisor. Hello, everybody. I feel very protected here tonight. It's a wonderful thing. Just a couple things. Big Truck Day up at the Grange Fair. It's hosted by the Yorktown Grange. It's also a car show. It'll be on Sunday, June 26th. Tom, I don't know if you can zoom in on this. June 26th, 10 a.m. to 3. Vehicles that are in the big truck area can be touched by the children up there. You know, if there's big trucks, sometimes the people let them go in it, etc. Cars in the field, the kids should stay away from. Just look at them. Touch it only with your eyes. But anyhow, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday, June 26th. And I have to echo the supervisor with regard to the adaptive playground grand opening. And kudos to everybody who was involved in that. I'll tell you, I was up there the night before, and we had more big kids in there than we had little kids, including myself. Danny Hughes and his wife were up there with the grandchildren, and they were having a ball just on the the adaptive playground prior to its opening. But the excitement in the kids, whether they were handicapped or not, was unsurpassed. And you had named Anna and Jamie. I want to thank Joe Carbone, our carpenter, who did an awesome job with the planters. Everybody worked hand in glove up there trying to get this done and have it all pieced together, because it was very strategically done, where you had to have the planters, then the fence, then the padding on the ground. It all came together. Senator Harcum had gotten us grants for that. And Ken Rundle from the Water Department, his staff, brought water over so that the plants in those planters can be watered, and also in the sensory garden, which is phase 2 of that project. It'll be a lot easier for the folks to have to go up there and maintain, with that water being brought over from a main in a little bit closer. And I got to thank our Parks and Recreation staff and the commission for the help that they gave in getting this project done. It was a great effort on everybody's part, and this lady to my right here, she kind of spearheaded the whole thing, and I want to thank her very much for what she did. Thank you, Diana.
I'm grateful that I got to work on it.
I was honored and privileged to do the little bit that I could do on it, and to see Luke, is it Kenneth? When they unveiled the sign.
With the Space for All?
Yeah, he actually touched it. It was very touching. No pun intended. But that was it was just great. If you get a chance to go up to Granite Knolls to take a look at it or go swing on a swing, please go ahead and do it. There's all kind of stuff up there. It's really pretty neat. I would name more people, but I probably forget people, and that's where I always say I get in trouble because I forget somebody. I got yelled at that Saturday because I forgot somebody. Lakeland Lumber was a very big part of it up there. Shelley Kahn and his group, they're a great community partner. We also had an excellent Shed the Meds program last week, which Assemblyman Kevin Byrne hosts every year. We had it in the PD parking lot, and there was quite the amount of drugs that were turned in out of people's medicine cabinets. Just a word to everybody. If you have stuff in your medicine cabinets, you can turn it in at the PD 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's for lack of a better word, a mailbox there that it goes in, no questions asked, it goes in there, and then it gets disposed of. I just want to remind all the parents out there, we are having a huge amount of fentanyl coming in. I can't say how much is coming into this area, but the pills that the kids think that they might be taking when they're out at these parties, 3 in 10 are laced with fentanyl. So I watched on a program on it yesterday where the social media now has icons on that you can just type in and get your fentanyl or your pills, etc. So, folks, if you're out there, I know it's tough to monitor the kids with their social media and stuff, but if you see stuff like this that's going on, please take some type of action because the life you save may be your own child's. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Howard.
Good evening, everyone. Third, I guess, the interactive playground. As we go into July 9th, I just want to go ahead and give a shout out to our Trail Town Committee that we will be opening up our trailhead signage. And I think that we're going to go ahead and decide if it's going to be up at Granite Knolls or whatnot. It's going to be start at Woodlands. And one of the reasons why I bring that up is also because there are so many ways that this community can play nice together. And I say literally play, like turn off the Wi-Fi. It's okay. Like we're going to be able to be okay if we turn off the Wi-Fi. And our trails are one of the greatest things that are hidden here. And they're places where kids can joke around and couples can go for walks. People can take a second and declutter their thoughts and step away from all the chaos that's in front of them. And that leads all the way up to Granite Knolls, where we now have this interactive playground where not only is it accessible to all, it's a place that we get to create more understanding, show more compassion, really break that fear and the stigma of that we can't all be one. And I think that starts with stepping into it, stepping into other people's experiences, sharing there. So yes, as Councilman Diana did just say, the world is getting only scarier, but it's getting scarier because we're forgetting that the little remarkable moments are the bigger moments. The real design of success isn't how much money that's in your pocket. It's how many lives that you touch before yours is taken. And I think it's really important that we stop and we raise our kids and we show them what integrity really looks like. And yes, I repeat that, turn off the Wi-Fi. It's going to be okay. With that being said, Sergio, do you want to say anything, honey?
No, he's good.
He's good?
He's good.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
He's got a little laryngitis. We're calling him Froggy
Laryngitis.
tonight.
That's all.
All right, thank you. I'll turn it over to our Highway Superintendent, Dave Paganelli.
I'll be brief. You might have noticed how we started paving early this year. Since we started paving in the end of May, the price has gone up 15%. The price of asphalt goes up the first of every month, and it's based on the liquid asphalt index. So as of effective last year, at the end of last year, we were paying $92 a ton laid in place, which means a company coming in and putting it down. And right now we're paying $117, which is about a 23% increase, which means 23% less roads, in addition to which we are milling roads, which we feel is the correct way to get the most longevity out of the asphalt, particularly since it contains a lot more recycled product than it ever has in the past, based on the market. And that adds about another 25%. So when you look at the roads we're paving, bear in mind that we are theoretically doing 50% less roads if we just wanted to go out there and throw an inch or two of asphalt on top of the roads. So that's it. Thank you.
Oh, thank
All
you.
right, Highway Superintendent, thank you.
Crazy how high it is.
All right, we have a number of presentations tonight, which we're very excited for. I'm going to turn it over to the Chief of Police, Robert Noble. Chief.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. I got to turn my back to you, so please, because they yell at me. The camera's up here. I got to look at. So, all right. Thank you very much for having me tonight. And before I do start, you know what, Dave, the roads. I've driven through other jurisdictions. You guys do a heck of a job out there. You know, people complain about potholes every now and then, but man, I drove through some craters in some neighboring towns. So from our force to yours, you know what? Keep up the great work out there, and thanks for your partnership.
Thank you for your partnership. We appreciate your security when we're out there.
All right. Well, we'll keep it up.
Thank you.
All right. At this time, I'd like to ask Officer Brandon Montero to please join me up here at the podium. And at this time, I'd also like to ask Brandon's family, Raymond Montero, Christine Montero, and Julia Montero, please come and stand to my right. Brandon Montero is a 25-year resident of Yorktown. He grew up in Yorktown and graduated from Yorktown High School. He played basketball, baseball, and lacrosse through the Yorktown Athletic Club. Brandon volunteered his time working with various community service organizations, such as Pennies for Patients, the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, Relay for Life, and the Play 60 Football Youth Program. Brandon has many hobbies, including golf, bicycling, health, and fitness. He aspires to run a marathon in the near future. After graduation, he attended Manhattan College, earning a bachelor's degree in business management, administration, and a minor in marketing in 2019. Brandon went on to obtain a New York State real estate license and was hired by Keller Williams New York Realty in 2020. Brandon began his career in law enforcement in 2020 with the New York City Police Department. He was assigned to the 49th Precinct in the Bronx as a patrol officer. He was deployed to several divisions such as transit, local patrol, and housing. Brandon is second-generation law enforcement, as his father, Raymond Montero, served 30 years, retiring as a detective with the Yonkers Police Department. He looks forward to serving the Yorktown community for many years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a round of applause for Officer Brandon Montero. Before I call on Diana Quast, our town clerk, to please come up and administer the oath, I just want to say that Brandon is almost completed his field training, and he's doing an excellent job so far. Just the other night, he and Officer Doherty took a dangerous drunk driver off the roads, and it was their keen observations that made that happen. And everything that he's done thus far has been exceeds our expectations, and I know he's going to continue to do so. Once he graduates from the Field Training Officer Program, which is 8 weeks long, he will be placed in a patrol division under the command of Lieutenant Justin Foley. So again, I couldn't be happier with the way things are going, and I think we got ourselves not only a quality officer but a high character individual to add to our ranks at the Yorktown Police Department.
Wonderful.
Diana, please do what you do.
Just turn around and face that for me. This way everybody can see. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Brandon Montero. Do solemnly swear. that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of
police officer
police officer
for the Yorktown Police
for
Department
the Yorktown Police Department
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Miss Montero, Julia, please join his dad Raymond pins his badge on his chest this evening.
Great job. Great job. Good luck to you. Good job. Good luck.
Congratulations. And thank you for your service.
And now a few words from Officer Montero.
Good evening, everyone. Everyone behind me. I want to begin by thanking Chief Noble, all the lieutenants, the sergeants, and everyone in the Yorktown Police Department, Town Supervisor Slater, the entire town board, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I want to thank my wonderful family for all their support. I am fortunate and honored to serve and give back to my hometown, the community where I grew up in and attended all the schools. I am proud to wear this uniform each day, and I have the highest level of respect for the badge and ensuring residents of Yorktown are safe and receiving the best services that this community deserves. Thank you. Everyone have a good evening.
Again, I'd like to thank the town board. Serge, I see you. You're looking at the ceiling, but I see you.
Looking at his TV.
All
He's
right.
watching it.
All right. No, I'm surrounded by excellent people. You see many of them in a room tonight that are here to support, their brother Officer Brandon.
Yep.
And a few of the people that you see today, boy, they had a trying day. You got Officer Donati and Sergeant Dillon, who dealt with the angriest 2 p.m. drunk that you could probably deal with. That was in our care and custody for most of the day. And they're here tonight to support one of their own. So it's a very nice thing, and the tone is set from you up here on the dais. Many towns they don't receive the support that we do. I'd like to thank you for the support that you do show us, and I'd like to think that we do earn it. But again, the tone is set from on high, and I thank you very much for that. Constantly and consistently. It makes our jobs that much easier. And before I leave, I'd like to congratulate somebody else who's getting congratulated tonight. You were in the law enforcement club, right? Yeah. And so was your brother. Yeah. I think it's wonderful that you chose to honor Brett Makar tonight and his family. I think if we could play that on a loop where he went into the stands and
Yep.
and celebrated with his family and the jersey was one of the nicest things. And that's just I think that's what Yorktown's all about. That you have great people like that. So to the Makar family and Brett, my congratulations. It's been a pleasure to get to meet you, and great things, all great things in the future for you. And I just wish the Jets had drafted you. I know but all right. But again, my thanks. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. Everybody, please lock your cars if you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
Take the keys out of your cars and lock your cars.
Don't tell my husband.
It doesn't happen all that much, thankfully, but it just happened the other night. And about a month ago, somebody alleged that he left his gun in the car as well, and the car was broken into, unlocked.
Yeah.
All the incidents that we're seeing out there are unlocked vehicles. So please, we live in a safe town. Thankfully, a lot of the incidents we deal with are property crimes, the violent incidents, the domestic incidents, and usually, and we can deal with that. We do an excellent job with that. But help us help you. Lock your cars out there, people. Thank you.
Chief, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen, ladies.
Brandon, congratulations. Awesome
Congratulations.
job.
Good luck.
great. We are very, very lucky to have a police department that we do here in Yorktown. You see them all here. They're one big family. I see the future chief of Yorktown, CJ DiPietrantonio, walking on out there. CJ, what's up, buddy?
Hi, CJ.
What's up, my man?
Hi, bud.
Walking out with that, and Brandon and to his entire family, congratulations. Another generation of law enforcement, and it just makes the board proud. It makes our community proud. And we wish him nothing but a safe and successful career. So we're looking forward to that.
Thank you, folks.
So we're going to move on with another presentation, and I'm going to invite the Bub family. Michael, if you could come up. We're very, very excited to recognize it's just this is just awesome stuff.
So cool.
Michael's coming up. You hear the cling clang.
The gold medals.
You can stand right there for me. So, Michael, why don't you tell us what's around your neck there, sir?
Around my neck are 1 gold and 2 silver medals from the Special Olympics USA Games held this year at 2022 in Orlando, Florida.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Wow. That is awesome.
You're an inspiration. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Michael, now tell us though.
Wait, I want to know, are they heavy?
They're very heavy.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. How many more medals do you have?
Regionally and from the state, I have 218 gold medals straight for over a span of 13 years. I have never lost a race.
Never lost a race. That is amazing.
So what's your secret?
I don't know, just hard work.
That's right.
That's probably the best advice you can give any of us.
Where do you train?
I currently train at Club Fit in Jefferson Valley, also working as a lifeguard there.
That's
Well, that's
fantastic.
wonderful.
That is awesome.
Great.
And so you've been competing now for the Special Olympics. How many times did you say?
13 years.
13
This
years.
is my 14th.
And so now you're the defending champ. What was the event that you won the gold in?
I won the gold in the 200 medley relay. I swam the
Amazing.
butterfly leg.
The butterfly leg. How fast do you swim it?
I don't know, actually, off the top of my head.
Fast enough to win.
That's all that matters.
Well, that's great. That's great. Mike, I just wanted to, I suppose, talking with your dad, and you did something and you've accomplished something so special for this community. And so we really wanted to just take time to say thank you for representing Yorktown on a regional level, on a state level, and on a national level, for being an incredible athlete. And we have a proclamation recognizing not just your accomplishment now, but the over 200 medals that you have won as a Special Olympics swimmer. Congratulations. Keep going, man. You're the champ now.
Yeah, thanks for
You're
being
the
an
champ.
amazing role model to all of our children.
It is great.
Yep.
It's great. Well, to Michael Bubb and to the Bubb family, congratulations for having a Special Olympic champion right here in Yorktown. Yeah, that's what Luciano wants to see how heavy they are.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I can give you them all if you want.
No, that's okay.
You got a few extras at home?
I got a
they're
whole,
like my
I
4-year-old.
actually have a whole coat rack lined up.
It's amazing.
That's
It
wonderful.
is amazing.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It is amazing. Well, I'm going to
There
give you
you
this proclamation. Thank you again for representing our town, for
Thank you, Mr.
being
Slater.
so great for our community, and being an inspiration for so many people.
I'm
It's
no
amazing.
inspiration. I'm just a guy who
No, you're an inspiration
Nah,
to
you're
a
an
lot of
inspiration.
people, man. You want to get a quick picture, Akira?
You're the kind of guy I want my kids to look up to. Not you two.
Awesome. Congratulations. To the champ. To the champ. Congratulations. Great.
Now you can explain it. Yeah, sure. Come on, let's get a photo. Yeah. Now you can put up the proclamation
You're in the middle, man.
with all your medals.
I can hide in the back.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. Good luck. Good luck this weekend.
Awesome. Good luck this weekend. Keep going. The champ. It's great.
It's awesome.
That is just amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, folks.
Jingle and jangle.
I know, you hear him coming. It's great. Well, it's like I said, it's the night of champions because next we have another one. Brett, you want to come up with your family? It is it's a real treat to be able to recognize a young man that I followed the entire tournament, so it's pretty cool to be able to have you here. Brett Makar of Yorktown, Maryland Terp, national champ. How does that sound?
Still surreal. Hasn't really fully sunk in yet. Kind of just got back to Yorktown a few days ago, so finally get to chill out a little bit. But it's been a whirlwind.
Yeah.
Really, really amazing. So.
And so I know that you were away. Do you mind sharing where you were?
Yeah, so last week I was at Team USA tryouts for the upcoming World Games next summer in San Diego.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Just keep going.
Yeah, that's it. Doesn't
That
stop.
is
Doesn't
amazing. Now, this was a historic season for the Maryland Terps, yes? You want to tell us about that and tell us why?
Yeah, so we went undefeated, first college team to ever go 18-0, perfect season. First time there's been an undefeated team since 2006. So it was a great run, special group of guys for sure.
It's amazing. And coming from Yorktown, the lacrosse mecca, right? It is. It was funny. I was texting Adam Lodowick all weekend.
I'm getting dinner with him tomorrow night.
There you go. Adam Lodowick, another Yorktown superstar lacrosse player, fellow Terp, and I knew he was really enjoying it as well for a lot of reasons. But why don't you tell us, if you can, for like. My son Charlie started playing lacrosse this year, so we were over at YAC doing the clinics, playing with the high school lacrosse team. They're teaching them all a little. What do you tell kids about the game of lacrosse, and why does it mean so much to you?
Yeah, I would just say enjoy it. I mean, I think that was the biggest thing for me and my brothers growing up is we always loved the game. It never felt like we were, stressed playing or, we never really realized we were working towards playing in college or anything like that. We just played because we loved the game and never forget that's why you're playing, for the love of it and just playing with your buddies and having a great time. So anytime you get an opportunity to play, just enjoy it and enjoy the process and love it.
It's awesome. That's awesome. One of the things that I kept hearing from a lot of folks throughout the community was your leadership. You as a leader on and off the field. What kind of attributes do you think are important for future leaders who are looking up to you right now as a national champ? What do you think they need to make sure that they aspire to?
Yeah, always just I think for me it was always kind of just putting the group in front of myself. I was always willing to kind of just keep my head down and work hard, not for myself, but for the betterment of my teammates and the guys that I'm doing it with. And I think our team this past spring really kind of represented that. And that's the great thing about sports is just trying to bring everyone together to one common goal. And unfortunately for us, we were able to do that. But even throughout my entire sports career, that's just something I always wanted to do, was be the best version of myself for the guys I'm doing it with. So.
Man, is he a pro or what?
No,
Brett, I might be that crazy person in the audience the next time I go to the hall or I'm in Maryland visiting mine over there. So now I'm going to be like, I know him. I mean, I could still go out on that.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
And the chicken at the hall, the wings are pretty on point.
Yeah, that's their spot.
That's their spot. I know. I'm a little Italian, so I look for good food when I go up there. That's wonderful. Thank you.
I got to ask for your folks. I mean, I've watched that video of you jumping into the stands. I can't even tell you how many times. Just magical. I just got to ask. I mean, all the hard work that he put in. I know that you and your whole family, your brothers, were all behind you. How do you feel at this moment that you got a national champ, an undefeated national champ in your family?
It's amazing, really.
Can you go to the mic? Can you go to the mic? Just stand up right. Just join Brett up there.
It was just a lot. I know the work that he put in and his teammates, and to see them come out on top was truly amazing.
Yeah.
It really, it didn't come easy. They fought tooth and nail to get to what they did, and they got it done. It's really impressive, and we're so happy to be a part of it. We met so many great people, parents and alumni. It was just an amazing journey. It really was.
It's awesome. Well, I can't thank you enough.
And thank you for having us here tonight. Really.
Oh, are you
our
kidding?
family appreciates it.
I came in and I said to my staff, Brett won, and they're going, what did we win? But it was great. But I'm so happy that you were able to come by because I can tell you the entire community, just like with Michael in the back over here, the entire community supports you guys so much. And we were watching, when you hit the playoffs, we were watching every game. We were checking in on each other. I was checking Twitter for the scores, the whole bit. And so I just hope you know that you were playing for a lot of people. You're playing for yourself, but you're also playing for the community and how proud we are and just taking time. I know how busy you are these days. And just to be able to come here and share some time with us, we just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for being a great representative of the community. Thank you for being a great inspiration to so many generations of lacrosse players. And keep going, man. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. Congratulations, Michael. That's amazing. Congratulations. Keep it up. Keep it up. Thank you, guys.
Brett, we do have here a proclamation recognizing just a historic year. I'm sure you've got a ton of this stuff, but we'd like to present it to you on behalf of the town.
Thank you.
I'll see,
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Let's do a picture, yeah.
It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for taking
We'll all get in.
Hey guys, how you doing, man? It's awesome. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Why don't we, it's okay? You guys good?
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Awesome.
One more.
Oh, one more.
Oh, yeah, one more.
Sorry. Thank you.
It's like the receiving one at the wedding.
Sorry.
Hold on one second. Michael, come on up, Michael. Let's get both our champs up here.
Bring your family too.
Come on, guys.
Come on up as well.
Where do you want me to stand?
You don't, right here.
You stand right here. You stand right here.
Congratulations.
Nice to meet you. You're right
There you
here.
go.
Awesome.
Sorry, Tom. Moving this a little bit out of the way. We'll get in.
All right, Kelly, good?
Good. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Good.
Oh, more.
Sorry.
Awesome, guys. One more. Come back here. One more.
Mom's in every picture. Yeah. I'm learning this.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Congratulations again. Thank you. Awesome. That's a lot, all right? That's great. Go Turks.
Thanks, guys.
Go Turks.
See you at the hall.
Oh, my goodness.
Kira, will you send me those?
Such inspirations. Unbelievable. Brett and Michael, right?
Yeah. It's amazing.
Just awesome. Just awesome. All right. Mr. Poet Laureate John McMullen, if you can fix the podium so the man in the back doesn't get angry with us, that would be
Incidentally,
fantastic.
I brought 2 poems with me, one on sports and one on the police. Without reading this, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I think I'll do the sports one.
I think you should, after this, I think you have to go to the sports one. Come on.
Well, this is a police one, too, but my father and my
That's
grandfather.
true. That's true.
Are you Jewish? They were the first words that super sports maven Bill Mazer ever said to me. We were in 2 separate cars going across Midtown New York City. We both stopped at a red light, and recognizing him, I signaled to roll down our window and asked him a baseball trivia question. Most baseball folks know who the third baseman on the Tinker Seventh to Chance team was. Who was the catcher? The light changed. We moved ahead to the next red light. He asked, "Are you Jewish?" Bewildered, I said, "No." And then he gave me the answer, Johnny Kling. And we drove away with me still bewildered. When Bill started Mazer in the morning at WEVD, I called him and asked him about it. He told me that Kling was Jewish, one of the first few Jewish big leaguers, so he assumed I was too. And from then on, I was a regular caller into the show. I was John from Jefferson Valley. And Bill, or his son Artie, would send me tickets to sporting events. Now Bill Mays is no longer with us, and the sports world has lost a font of sports knowledge. But I miss more the man I liked, the only person who ever asked me if I was Jewish. So, okay. I won't read the cop one.
You can read the cop
You
one.
can do that.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You can read the cop one. It's okay.
NYPD cap. I was on my way out today with Barbara and I decided to grab a cap. It was supposed to rain. I picked an NYPD cap off the rack. It made sense. It was just before Father's Day. And the two generations of my family before me served. My father was a 13-year veteran before he died in an accident. I remember him coming home and locking up his gun every night. But I wish that I had many more years of that vision. His father was called by Commissioner Teddy Roosevelt as his kind of cop. He was shot twice, thrown in the river by 7 toughs once. My father bragged that his father arrested none of them, but beat each of them individually. It was a different time then. After he retired from NYPD, he became chief of security for the Dayline boats. He died the month before I was born. I never got to hear his stories. The day before 9/11, the day after 9/11, when we heard all of the tales of the heroism of the NYC services, I bought NYPD and NYFD caps for Jim Casey and me after our late fathers. Then I grabbed mine just before Father's Day.
Very nice, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We will go to courtesy of the floor. Let's start with the usual. You don't have to wait to courtesy of the floor if you have any problems or concerns with the town. You can contact our highway superintendent. You can contact any of our town board members, and you can contact the supervisor's office. You can contact me personally, 914-962-5722, extension 200, or you can email mslater@yorktownny.org. The courtesy of the floor, we ask, as always, that you keep your comments respectful and focused. Direct them to the town board. There is a 3-minute time limit. We are trying our best to adhere to that 3-minute time limit. We have a timer up, so if you're at the podium, you can see how much time is left. Once 3 minutes are up, we will kindly ask you to excuse yourself from the podium. And with that, we will begin with courtesy of the floor.
And I'm back.
And you're back.
I've spoken to both Tom and to Dave about the problem that we have at the corner of Perry Street and East Main Street. This week, there was almost one head-on that I saw. People are coming out of Mayapack to beat the lights on Route 6. And I also saw someone turning into Perry Street almost get hit by someone coming out of Mayapack.
You said Perry, not Curry.
Perry
Street.
Perry.
Okay.
I've offered to have some of the curve by my property taken from me. I do not have the corner property, so we'd have to get some permission from that person, who used to be the Warren Building. But I also recommend to Dave that we put a speed bump either at the end of my back driveway, which is in the middle of the curve, or before that. And he said, you can't do that on a curve like that. But someone's going to get killed there, and Tom had a friend that was killed there.
Yeah.
So I'd really like someone to figure out what we could do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
Hi, good evening, Susan Siegel. Later in the agenda, you're going to pass a resolution to hire Transpo to do a study on the traffic. Could you explain the content of what Transpo is being asked to do, specifically two things? One, what potential long-term improvements or modifications he is going to be asked to investigate for the 118 corridor from Underhill to 118, which intersections he's going to be covering, and also in reviewing the traffic generation numbers, will he be looking at just reviewing the proposed Underhill Farm, or will he be factoring in specific numbers for Uncle Giuseppe's, which is now going into Yorktown Green, the proposed Asta redevelopment, and so forth. So we have, since we're looking long-term, do we have something a little bit more specific and more precise than the very, very generic off-the-shelf numbers that were in the overlay study? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Anyone else?
Ed Safone moved into the town in 1970, so it makes it 52 years. Now, I'm holding in my hand here the orders report. I finally got it. I went up there so many times, she even said, I gave it to you. She never gave it to me. But anyway, on page 14, now last year you had $20 million in unassigned fund balance.
Mm-hmm.
You gave $1 million to that man over there. I don't know what you did with it.
Gave a lot of roads.
Yeah. Bought a couple of Ferraris. What do you think?
Yeah,
of
I
that?
know, okay.
What would you do with it?
Well, that's why I'm here, to share the wealth. Now we have 22 million. Now, you give it to everybody else and you're going to spend it and all that. What about the taxpayer? If you gave Dave $1 million, give the taxpayers $1 million. And it'd make me feel better. I know you haven't raised the taxes in 2 years, but you're leaving. Nobody's not, you may leave, right? But this is really important that over the years, I think as supervisor of the town, you should get a list of where all this money came from.
It came from
Okay? I don't want to foil the information, but you should know because you get money from the state, you get money from the county, sales tax, you got tons and tons of money. But I like to see it in writing because we have dealt, Don Roberts is watching now on TV. We used to go to the budget hearings, and every year the state said, don't carry more than 15%. Okay? So, and we made a policy, we wanted to make a policy to that effect, that you would keep it to 15%. But it's getting outrageous. And it just keeps getting more and more money that's unassigned. This is a great thing. In the school system, they had 2 egg-timers, one for me and one for everybody else. And mine was like 30 seconds shorter. But that's
Everybody's the same.
But anyway, so if you could do that, just to see where your money came from, and maybe give it back to the people, share the wealth with the taxpayers, and that'll make my job feel good. I was a police officer too, and I remember the day that I was sworn in, and that's a long time ago. And I'm a veteran. I'm just trying to stretch out that 20 seconds.
I'm a veteran.
I got a few health issues, so I'm still here. I came around. I gave that speech I wasn't going to come anymore, but 22 million, that's a lot of money. Give it back to the people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Safone.
Thanks for your service, Ed.
I've got a Google clock now.
I tried to turn that off.
It's cute.
I like that, though.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Just make sure before Mr. Strauss begins that the clock is reset.
Leave it.
It's having technical.
That's a cuckoo clock.
Sure. Yeah, everybody likes cuckoo
Okay, good.
clocks.
I'm up here.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Mr. Strauss?
Dan Strauss, 56-year resident, Yorktown. Thank you, Dave, for the job you're doing with the roads.
Thank you.
I drive by Brookside School every day, and the job they're doing, the grounds staff, it's immaculate. That's what the town should look like all over town every day. That's what the whole town should look like. I'm not going to say again that it would only take me 3 months. That wouldn't work out too well. Before you mentioned the graffiti, for the last 6 years I've talked, and I certainly felt that before. The bad actors, that's Chief Noble's expression, They think that they can get away with things in the town of Yorktown. That's still my opinion. I'll hold to it until something changes. I'm not specifically saying about law enforcement at all. In general terms, bad actors think they can get away with things, and that's why they keep doing it. And it just keeps going on and on. And I know Mr. Diana has made comments about that we should maybe give tickets, or we should do this, or we should do that in the snow and stuff with people parking and illegally. And there's a term I've come up with, or at least in an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It struck me many years ago as collateral damage. I didn't come up with that. Collateral damage is when people die or suffer irreparable damage because someone isn't doing their job. And I just think that it could be a lot better here, and I think that people take advantage of the fact that they think that nothing's going to happen to them. I've got 49. Okay, so I'm just going to shift briefly to the public informational hearing the other night. And I'm going to frame it with, there are two sides to a story. It came up that the Trump residence is on 65 acres. The proposed residence over in Cortland area is 50 acres, Toll Brothers. This is on 13 acres, and it's jammed into 13 acres, and I think it's not acceptable. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Strauss.
Thank you, Dan.
Anyone else for courtesy of the floor?
George Winsman. I didn't even realize this was going to happen, but I was involved in something today they were talking about fentanyl. Police department made a stop. They thought it was all heroin. It was cut almost 50-50 with fentanyl. Everybody and his grandmother got all, and there was a lot of problems. But one thing I just want to say is I've been making phone calls. Nobody returns my calls. That's all I want to say. Thank you. Have a good night.
Mr. Winsman? George? If you want to stay, I'll answer you. Anyone else for courtesy of the floor? Anyone else for courtesy of the floor? Motion to close?
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Comments from the board?
George, I got that information for you on the PD.
So do I, George.
We'll talk to you. Okay.
We both got the information, George. That's why you didn't get the phone call back yet.
Okay.
I think that people have a right to know, but the question that Mr. Winsman posed is why does the PD doors remain closed that you have to buzz in? And that is purely from a security standpoint from the police department.
Mm-hmm.
They did traditionally have a open door policy, but they have shifted away from that in light of some of the other incidences that have occurred in other places. So it is still open and accessible 24/7. You just can't walk right in. You have to press the buzzer. They have a camera and a speaker that you can communicate directly with the desk on, so that you can explain why you were there, whether it's to report a crime, you're a victim of a crime, you want to drop off drop off some medication at the drop box, you want to utilize the Hope Not Handcuffs program. All of that is still accessible. You just have to press a button first before entering.
The one other thing that George Winsman had brought to my attention is that, as you saw, when he walked up there, he had a little step in his fetch-it, so to speak. He had a little gimp going on, and he had some issues going with one of his legs. And he said, it was just a simple accident report, and he said there was no place for me to sit down there. So that's something that we'll have to work out with the chief, just to maybe put a little bench there or something, because you get people that walk up there, maybe they're in a walker or something, and they need to sit down just to get a break from the walker while they're waiting for their accident report to come out would be something to be very, very good. It's part of our accessibility committee things to work on, and we are working on it.
Exactly. That was something that we saw proposed when we looked at redoing the promenade there,
Yes.
moving the handicap parking closer to the entranceway, providing more accessibility in that sense as well. But I think it's important also that the benches is a good idea too.
And as long as we're on that topic, the police plaza there is going to be revamped in the very near future to take care of, as the supervisor said, not only handicap parking, but a different step arrangement and so forth to make it more accessible.
Other comments?
Can I speak to?
Yeah, please.
Chiffon? Mr. Chiffon, with respect to the $1 million, I didn't buy any Ferraris. All right? That money was spent within $7,000 doing an entire neighborhood on the north end, okay, which was everything that was east of Strawberry Road, Valley View, Hudson View, Briar Hill, Chesterfield, the entire neighborhoods, as well as down here in the Heights, an entire neighborhood that came out to almost exactly the same money, which was Summit, Central, Payne, and all the crossroads up here. So that enabled us to do two entire neighborhoods, so you didn't end up in a situation which I've been working years on trying to avoid, is you're on a road that's just been paved, next thing you know on a scroungy road. Then you're on a road that's been paved, then you're on a scroungy road. So that's where that money went. With respect to Mr. McMullen, I do believe we discussed the speed bumps on East Main Street at traffic safety.
Yep.
It didn't meet the criteria because of the blind corner, if I'm not incorrect, but we are having a meeting this Thursday, and we will bring it up again for discussion and see if anything has changed.
Yeah,
I was up there and looked at it, and it's the turn is so severe, all right, that even you giving up a bit of property would not, without the parcel on the corner of Perry and East Main Street, it wouldn't have opened up the sight line adequately enough, and it would have been a tremendous, tremendous undertaking to try and. We'd have to go way back onto your property, bevel it down towards the road. Couldn't just build a wall and have it be like that. So it's not something we haven't considered, and still under consideration.
A speed bump wouldn't slow down.
We're not gonna
So
go
the
back
fact of the matter with speed bumps is, as our traffic safety police officer would tell you, speed bumps are not, I repeat, not to be used for traffic control. They are not to be used to control speed. That is not their purpose. So that unto itself is an entire another Pandora's box. So
Just to kind of echo what Dave said, we'll probably need another road trip out there. Maybe we come up with some other type of signage
very nice
and/or.
that he'd give us his section
Yeah.
of the road, but we'd be halfway by his front door by the time we beveled it down to the point where you'd have sight line.
Yeah. It'd be less to mow, John. But
On a positive note, you'd have a lot less to mow.
But we'll bring that. We're going to have Thursday. We have another meeting. We're going to discuss numerous places, and yours is one of them.
Excellent. Mr. Safone, if you look at page 20 of that report, you'll find a list of all the revenue that was brought in by category for the town. So you should be able to find, I think, what you're looking for there. And if you want a more detailed breakdown beyond that, then we should have a conversation with the comptroller as well. But usually that's lined out in the budget that's released every year. So we can also get you another copy of the budget book. But we do have that. And I recognize Mr. Safone's point about the size of the fund balance. I also think that we are in a very strong financial position. I think that the economy is very fragile, as we all know right now, and we can't predict exactly where we're going to end up. And as much as I would love to give it back to the taxpayers, I think we've done a very responsible job in protecting taxpayers by, first off, we've lowered the tax levy, we've cut taxes already, we've shaved more than $7 million in budgeted spending, and we've held the line on taxes by not raising taxes here for the last 2 years. So I think that we've done right by the taxpayers. We could always look for more ways, and we're going to continue to look for more ways. But considering the uncertainty of the economy right now, I feel very comfortable with where the town is financially. And I think that we just need to recognize and be patient as this unfolds. But the budget process coming up is going to be a difficult one. And everyone knows, I think the board knows, I've already told and expressed this to the department heads that, my philosophy and my belief is that we need to, once again, do our best to protect local taxpayers, especially when the economy and people is in the state that it's in, and people are paying more than $5 a gallon at the gas pumps. I mean, it's just a really difficult time for a lot of people, and I'm hearing it from the restaurants now. They're seeing it not just from the costs for their products, but the customers are dwindling. We're seeing it in numerous areas in our local economy and in the economy at large. So I think that the town should be thankful we're in the position we're in, because we're going to have the strength and flexibility to respond in one way or the other, with, of course, keeping the burden off the taxpayers as much as we can. And so that's a process that, of course, unfolds during the summer and rolls out in the fall when we start putting out proposals for next year's budgets. We're not going to. I understand, Mr. Safone. We're not going to entertain comments from the crowd right now. Thank you, Susan. Your question is actually a very simple answer. The analysis already includes Kear Street and Transpo added the intersection at Downing, so all of 118 is included. Okay, so I know that was something that you emailed us prior. I already went to the planning department to make sure that was the case, and it is confirmed that the entire Route 118 corridor, including Downing and Kear Street, are included in their analysis. So that's the next step in that process with regards to the traffic review, which is something that we talked about when we first brought the traffic consultant on, that we needed to have. And Dave, you were very supportive of the concept because we needed to make sure that we had our own consultant that could review and verify and protect the town's interests. Not a
hired gun.
Not that I'm saying that someone isn't that any of the consultants are trying to put one over on the town, but it's always good to trust but verify.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Correct.
And so that's what we're doing. I'm trying to think if there was anything else.
We took care of George already.
Yeah, we took care of George. John's taking care of Susan. Mr. Safone. I think we're good. I mean, Mr. Strauss, the only comments I'll say is that, we are proceeding with enforcement actions as they come in. We do our best to be everywhere. I know it's frustrating. I'm frustrated by it as well. I'm frustrated by the fact that I had to go find just, graffiti on the playground and the sign out at the Cappellini Center. But we are also looking to make some security enhancements in certain areas of town that's going to help these actions as well. So I don't want to divulge too much into the details there, but I think that's something that the town board's discussed and feels strongly about. And I think that's all my comments. Anything you want to add? No?
Nope.
We're
I'm
good?
good, thank
Good. Okay. And we will continue on with our agenda. And we have resolutions. We're going to authorize the supervisor to enter into a regional kitchen agreement with the town of Somers for the WIN and NSIP programs. We're going to authorize the supervisor to enter into a regional kitchen agreement with the town of Somers for the Title 3C and NSIP programs. We're going to authorize the supervisor to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the town of Yorktown PBA to resolve a grievance. We're going to authorize the town clerk to notice a public hearing to consider the abandonment of an existing paper road at the intersection of Summers Street and Montrose Road. We'll authorize the town clerk to notice a public hearing to consider the application received from John and Elaine Kinkart for Dorchester Glen subdivision to authorize the planning board to process a subdivision utilizing flexibility standards. We're going to authorize the highway superintendent to sign change order number 1 to the bid awarded to SNL Plumbing due to the additional work needed to retrofit the installation of the ventilation system at the highway garage. And we're going to authorize Transpo Group USA, Inc. to perform a traffic review for the traffic review for the Underhill Farms project. We have also additional... Serge, I think that's your computer, buddy. Thank you, sir. We're also going to, we have at a closed, a resolution that states as follows: resolved that the Parks and Recreation Superintendent is authorized to execute whatever documentation is necessary as approved by the town attorney for the Yorktown Lions Club to host 6 concerts at the Jack DeVito Veterans Memorial Field and Track during the summer of 2022 for an amount of $1,000 per concert, or a total not to exceed $6,000. We have another for tax certiorari. Whereas tax certiorari proceedings were instituted challenging the assessment for parcel known as Section 58.12, Block 1, Lot 7. Also, the address is 1005 Chapman Street on the tax map of the town of Yorktown. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the tax certiorari proceedings affecting tax parcel Section 58.12, Block 1, Lot 7, account number 4747000, owned by Francis Goldwyn for the assessment roll years 2019 and 2020 is settled as set forth in the proposed stipulation as follows. And I'll be handing this to the clerk so she can include it in her minutes. And that is all the resolutions I have. Did I miss anything?
No.
I want to welcome Dave back from his trip to
Chicago.
Chi-Town.
Chi-Town.
And now this is going to be the hardest question of the evening for the supervisor. What type of trucks did he bring back? Ford F what?
F5550.
Yes, 550s, correct.
Yeah, you guys kept tripping me up on that. We have a motion for the resolutions.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion's carry. There's no other business before the board. Then we will make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much,
Good night,
Yorktown.
Yorktown.
Stay
Good night,
safe.
Yorktown.